Disrupt HR Ann Arbor is essentially 13 speakers coming together to talk about disruptive and bold ideas in a fast-paced manner. They have 20 slides that auto-advance every 15 seconds, and they have to deliver their message simply, clearly, and concisely. It has to be bold and disruptive because a lot of us in HR are well aware of problems, and this is a place where we can bring the problems to the masses and find a solution together in a collaborative nature.
So what's the biggest HR challenge right now that you see?
The one that I'm seeing is specifically finding talented individuals within blue collar, plumbing, HVAC, electricians, healthcare. There's a huge gap. There's tons of CNAs, but as far as speech language pathologists and the physical therapists, there just seems to be a real gap in the market of healthcare professionals. Because in 2020 during COVID, they were heroes. In 2021, they were villains. So that's the industries that I am in and working in, and those are the challenges that I'm seeing personally.
How do we change that?
Great question. The way to possibly do that is to continue to upskill and apprenticeship programs. I'm a big fan of registered apprenticeship programs, specifically the Department of Labor, because you earn as you learn. So you go to college, you take a nighttime class or a daytime class, and you work a full-time schedule. And then through that apprenticeship, you get a mentor as well. And there's just a phenomenal benefit afterwards is when you finish the apprenticeship program, it's 3 or 4 years, potentially, maybe 2, but it's like a 4-year degree the Department of Labor gives you. So you have a certification, just like if you were at the University of Michigan, which we are today at Palmer Commons.
So my topic is don't just deploy AI, design the experience. I've noticed that companies are rushing to really deploy AI and be the fastest to get there, right? Everyone's doing it, and so now we have to jump in. And what we're missing is the experience of our employees. We have to remember that our employees are our customers. And how do we deploy an AI or a system and still ensure that people can get their work done and have a good experience at work?
Job seekers are having issues with AI and losing that human element.
Yeah. So I am pro AI. I think you should use AI. I think you should engage with it. But you're right. The human element is important. And so I always say humans at the helm. We should still be there. While we use the tool and it makes us better and faster, it should also allow us to commit to customer service, to ensure that we are engaging with people and spending the time really getting our processes together and ensuring that people understand what we're looking for when we're hiring and adding that white glove service.
So what do you think is the biggest HR challenge these days?
I would say engagement. How do we ensure people are engaging at work and ensuring that they have a good experience when they engage? We have so many different ways, so many different tools of engagement, right? Mm-hmm. And it's thrown at people from the left to the right, and it's overwhelming. And so if we take a step back and say, hey, sometimes we need to just use one platform. Sometimes we've got to get face to face. I think the engagement part is so important because at the end of the day, people deserve community.
I'll be speaking about workforce of the future. In other words, what changes are happening.
And what changes are happening?
Well, there's two major changes we'll be talking about tonight. One is the age demographic. Within the next 5 years, the U.S. Department of Labor depicts that we're going to have about 30% are going to be 30 and under. In other words, the workforce is going to be age 30 or under, about 50 million jobs as people age out. Right now, we currently have 4th, 5th, and 6th generation workers. But in the next 4 or 5 years, that's going to change drastically. That's the first thing. The second thing is AI technologies. Basically, we're going to see a change of positions. Some jobs are going to be eliminated. Some are going to have to work collaboratively with AI technologies. And some are safe. They're human-eccentric, so they can't be replaced.
So what do you think, now you're speaking about these two issues, what is the biggest HR challenge right now?
I think the biggest thing right now is if you don't change, you could become extinct, right? In other words, you have to continue to change. And as you look at how you hire, how you train, and how you retain those workers, keeping those items in mind that I just mentioned are going to be very important.
So, ladies, Jessica and Dana, why do they call you, or why are you the HR queens?
Well, I think this is something we just picked for ourselves because it made us feel good.
And we slay.
Yeah, we do. Slay all day.
What are you going to be talking about today?
We're going to be talking about is culture a myth?
Actually, or is it makeup?
Sure. What do you guys think the biggest HR challenge is right now?
Honestly, I think it's still the same how it was several years ago, and it's HR seat at the table. Like, very much leading people every single day, and we kind of get that respect or seat at the table just as an HR professional, because it's always, oh, you have to be a CFO, COO, and it's very new and niche to have an HR VP or CHRO on a table that is actually a decision-making table. So I think that's the struggle.
And are you ladies going to knock it out of the park today?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
I'm here to engage with people and just talk to them about the desire for people to be heard. Living in a culture, business, and the professional world where people aren't heard well. And I'm going to speak about that today. So the 5 core competencies of feeling heard.
What do you think the biggest HR challenge is right now?
The biggest issue right now is a strong culture. So the dealing with a lot of culture issues, and it relates to us moving from COVID, the issues we had through COVID and the silos, to integrating people and focusing on the people again. That's our main issue, and that's why I'm speaking about people desiring to be heard, because we need to get back to focusing on the people and slowly back away from the metrics.
I'm going to be talking about how people backup plan at work and how it creates an environment of enablement, and then it prevents people from growing because they're carrying what other people should be on themselves.
I would have to say, by and large, based on my experience, has been the candid experience. I think with the advent of AI, with the automation, with just the sheer volume of interest in applications, recruiters are getting overwhelmed and they don't know how to respond. My experience, I'm also in transition, and my experience has been, even once you get past the recruiter and you get into your second, third, fourth, or fifth interview, the communication, unfortunately, is not what it has been traditionally. You get an email, you get a voicemail, you don't get a phone call. And I just think that is really doing some injustice to the brands of these companies.